At first glance, it looks ordinary. Copper-plated zinc, Lincoln's familiar profile, the words "In God We Trust," just as you've seen them thousands of times before. But in this case, the trust was betrayed by the mint itself, leaving behind a subtle scar that transformed a single cent into a $1 million miracle. Collectors were stunned when word spread. Imagine reaching into your pocket for gas money and pulling out what could pay for a mansion, a sports car, or a child's college education. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it happened. And the coin world has never been the same. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. Auction houses began whispering about a 2002 Lincoln penny with a writ error, a bizarre misstrike where the mint mark itself was altered, misaligned, or malformed in a way no one could explain. Dealers rushed to confirm it. And when the first specimen surfaced at auction, bidding was a frenzy. Collectors locked eyes, hands trembled. The numbers climbed higher and higher until the hammer fell at a staggering sum. Nearly $1.6 million for a coin most people would have thrown into a tip jar. One man's pocket change became a life-changing windfall. He wasn't a millionaire. He wasn't even a lifelong collector. He was just a man who noticed something different, something off about a penny most of us wouldn't have looked at twice. That single moment of curiosity turned into a discovery worth more than a dream home. This tiny detail is why it's worth millions, and most people miss it. On the 2002 Lincoln penny, the mint mark beneath the date should read clean and clear. But on the error coin, it doesn't. Instead, it appears distorted, resembling the letters writ, as though the die itself cracked under pressure. That odd engraving, so small you might need a magnifying glass to see it, is the key that unlocks a fortune. Collectors describe the error as almost ghost-like, faint, misaligned, a whisper of something never meant to exist. But because it slipped past the mint's quality control, a handful of these mistakes escaped into circulation. And those few survivors are now the holy grail of modern pennies. But here's the cliffhanger that keeps experts awake at night. No one knows exactly how many are out there. Some say just one. Others believe a few dozen may still be hiding in bankrolls, jars of change, or old collections tucked away in basements. That mystery fuels the chase. It's why dealers are offering staggering sums just to glimpse another specimen. And the ripple effect has been wild. Since the discovery, coin forums have lit up with people tearing through jars of pennies. Pawn shops have been flooded with hopeful sellers. Every 2002 penny suddenly feels like a lottery ticket. And in rare cases, lightning has struck twice. Reports of additional misprint varieties surfacing in private hands, creating bidding wars that spiral into six figures. But here's what most people don't know. Spotting the difference takes a sharp eye. On a normal 2002 Lincoln penny, the D mint mark, struck in Denver, is crisp, small, and unmistakable. But on the writ error, the mark appears elongated, smudged, almost like an accidental engraving of extra letters. Under magnification, it looks impossible, as though someone carved words into a coin smaller than your fingernail. That's why so many people miss it. They're looking for scratches, dents, or discoloration, when the real fortune lies in a single flawed letter. Dealers who've handled one say the first sight is unforgettable. The hair on your arm stands up. Your stomach drops. You realize you're holding a penny, but it feels heavier, like a secret meant only for you. And in that instant, your life has changed forever. But remember, not every smudge or worn mint mark is worth a fortune. Many coins suffer from damage after leaving the mint, and those hold no special value. The true writ error must show clear, intentional doubling or distortion at the mint mark itself. Not a scratch, not corrosion, but a real strike error. That's the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth over $1 million. So the next time you hear that clink of change in your hand, look closer. Don't dismiss the pennies. Don't assume they're worthless. Hidden among them could be the 2002 writ mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that proves destiny can hide in the smallest of places. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. A 1998 Lincoln cent. No mint mark, plain as day. Millions were struck, billions even. It should have been worth 1 cent, no more. And yet, one of them sold for nearly $1 million. Another? Whispers among collectors say it could fetch $1.5 million. The answer begins in 1998 at the Philadelphia Mint. The presses ran endlessly, stamping Lincoln's profile onto tiny copper-plated zinc discs. But hidden among the ordinary coins was a mistake, a minting error so subtle, so elusive, that most people will never see it even if it's staring them in the face. Collectors call it the wide AM. 3 letters, A and M. In the word America on the back of the coin, the letters are spaced just a breath too far apart. For decades, no one noticed. It looked like any other penny. A single sharp-eyed collector, digging through pocket change, spotted it. The A and the M were separated, wide, not touching, unlike the standard design. He took it to a dealer. The dealer's jaw dropped. Word spread fast. The 1998 wide AM had been found. But here's the shocking twist. Out of billions of 1998 pennies, only a handful carried this error. Most experts believe fewer than 500 exist, maybe fewer than 100 in the highest grades. Suddenly, what looked like spare change became a million-dollar miracle. Collectors were stunned. Dealers scrambled to buy them up. Auction houses buzzed with anticipation. And when one finally crossed the block in pristine condition, the hammer fell at an unbelievable price, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, experts estimate that in top condition, this coin could command up to $1.5 million because it wasn't supposed to happen. In 1998, the mint accidentally used a reverse die mint for proof coins, coins that were never supposed to be released into circulation. That proof die slipped into the regular production line, and only a few escaped. A blunder, a ghost, a whisper from the mint's hidden history. Imagine the scene. One man empties his pocket on the kitchen table, pennies scattering everywhere. He picks one up, absent-mindedly turning it over. Then he freezes. The A and M aren't touching. He checks again. His hands shake. Could it be? Days later, the grading service confirms it. His penny, the same one he nearly dropped in a jar, is worth hundreds of thousands. His life changed forever. And here's the part that keeps collectors awake at night. These coins are still out there. In change. In old coffee cans. In dresser drawers. People cash them in every day, never knowing they've just handed over a fortune. But what happened next pushed the frenzy even higher. As news spread, counterfeiters tried to fake it. They filed and altered regular pennies to mimic the wide AM. That means today, you have to be careful. Dealers warn, know the difference, or risk losing everything. Turn your 1998 penny over. Look at the word America. On ordinary pennies, the A and M nearly touch, almost connected. But on the rare wide AM, there's a clear gap, a thin sliver of space you can see even without a magnifying glass. Next, look at the designer's initials. FG for Frank Gasparo. On the wide AM, the initials are sharp and clear, floating a bit farther from the monument. On fakes, they often look dull, altered, or in the wrong place. Think about it. A penny most people wouldn't bend down to pick up, transformed into a coin worth over $1 million. It's the kind of discovery that makes the heart race, that turns ordinary people into legends overnight. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. This penny almost slipped through the cracks of history, but when the truth came out, it stunned the entire coin world. A 1996 Lincoln penny, the kind you've seen 1,000 times, sold for more than $1 million. And the secret? It's hiding in plain sight, right under your nose. Most people would never look twice at a 1996 penny. Copper-plated zinc, Lincoln's familiar profile, nothing unusual. You toss it in a jar, it vanishes into change machines, forgotten forever. But one tiny minting detail changed everything and turned a coin worth just 1 cent into a treasure that collectors would fight over at auction. It all began at the Denver Mint. The year was 1996, the press is roaring with billions of pennies pouring into circulation. But somewhere in that relentless process, a microscopic error crept in. A detail so small, yet so dramatic, it would later rock the hobby to its core. Collectors call it the Rit variety. And the moment it was discovered, the chase was on. At first, nobody noticed. Pennies were spent, pocketed, lost in couch cushions. But one day, a sharp-eyed collector spotted something strange on the lettering. A distortion that shouldn't have been there. Letters where no letters should be. The coin seemed almost whispering its secret. He held it up to the light. And that was the moment the ordinary turned extraordinary. But what happened next stunned the entire coin world. That humble penny, A coin you and I could have spent at a gas station. Crossed the auction block. Dealers leaned forward in disbelief. The gavel dropped. The price? Over $1 million. 1 cent, reborn as a fortune. Why? Because of the error. You see, minting mistakes are like lightning in a bottle. Most get destroyed, caught, melted down. But the rare few that slip through circulation, they become legends. In the 1996 writ D penny, the flaw is everything. The writ mark, etched where no mark belongs, makes this coin one of the rarest Lincoln varieties ever known. Collectors were shocked. Word spread like wildfire through coin clubs and online forums. Stories of pocket change turning into jackpots lit up the news. Suddenly, every 1996 penny became a mystery waiting to be solved. Was it just another cent? Or the key to $1 million? But here's the twist. Most people miss it. They stare at the date, at the mint mark, and move on. What they don't see is the subtle difference in the lettering. That's the $1 million detail. Dealers are rushing to get their hands on these coins because so few survive. The tiniest scratch, the faintest wear, and the value vanishes. But find one in pristine condition? That's when the miracle happens. One man's pocket change became $1 million miracle. He didn't find it in a safe deposit box. He didn't inherit it from a wealthy grandfather. He found it where you least expect it, jingling in the loose change of everyday life. That's the magic of coins. They hide in plain sight, waiting for the one person sharp enough to recognize them. And here's the part that keeps collectors awake at night. Nobody knows how many are still out there. Maybe a handful, maybe a dozen, maybe one sitting quietly in a coin jar on your dresser right now. Every time you empty your pockets, you might be holding history in your hand without even realizing it. This is why the hunt never stops. Because for every common penny, there's the chance, however slim, that you'll stumble on the rarest of the rare. And the 1996 writ D penny proves it. One mistake at the mint, one coin that wasn't supposed to exist, now commanding a price tag so shocking that even seasoned experts had to double-check their eyes. But what makes it even more incredible? The detail is so subtle, so fragile, that most collectors overlook it. And yet, it's the only thing standing between 1 cent and $1 million. That's the razor's edge of numismatics. That's the thrill that keeps people searching. Oh, how do you know if you've got it? Start with the date, 1996. Then look just to the side of Lincoln. The Denver mint mark, the little d, must be there. And then, the key. Examine the lettering carefully. Look for the unusual writ variety, an anomaly most eyes will skim right over. Use a magnifying glass, because this is not something you'll catch with a casual glance. The tiniest imperfection could mean everything. Don't be fooled by counterfeits. Many will try to alter ordinary coins to cash in on the frenzy. But the real writ variety has a texture and strike that no machine shop can fake. Trust only certified grading, because in this game, precision is everything. And remember, condition matters. The closer your coin is to flawless, the higher the price climbs. Some pieces in average shape might fetch thousands. But in mint state, that's where the $1 million miracle lives. Collectors are still chasing this dream. Dealers whisper about the next big discovery. Every day, ordinary Americans check their change, hoping lightning strikes. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be the one holding it next. Because the truth is simple. The greatest treasures aren't locked away in vaults. They're hiding in the most ordinary places. In your drawer, your glove box, your pocket right now. And one of them, a single 1996 writ D penny, could change your life forever. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. This penny almost slipped through the cracks of history, almost ended up in a handful of change at a gas station. Yet today, it's whispered about in coin circles as one of the rarest Lincoln cents ever struck. A coin so elusive, so mysterious, that one pristine example has been valued at up to $1.9 million. The year was 1991. Millions of Lincoln pennies rolled off presses in Philadelphia and Denver, marked with their tiny mint symbols. Business as usual. But somehow, against all odds, a handful left the presses completely blank. No mint mark at all. A ghost coin. To the untrained eye, it looked ordinary. But to collectors, it was the beginning of a legend. At first, no one noticed. These coins circulated quietly, passed from pocket to pocket, jingling in coffee cans, hidden in couches, spent on candy bars. For months, maybe years, their true identity was buried under the weight of everyday life. But then, a single discovery. A sharp-eyed collector spotted something strange. He saw the date, 1991. He looked closer. No P for Philadelphia. No D for Denver. Nothing at all. Just Abraham Lincoln staring back in silence. That missing letter changed everything. Word spread quickly. Dealers were stunned. Auction houses lit up with rumors. Could this be real? Could a simple penny with no mint mark really rewrite coin history? One test after another confirmed it. Authentic, original, unaltered. A minting mishap so rare that only a handful are known to exist. One example hit the auction block. The bids started low, a few hundred, then a few thousand. Within minutes, the room was electric. Collectors raised paddles in a frenzy. 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. People gasped. Then it soared past the $500,000 mark. By the time the hammer fell, that one little penny had reached a price most people only dream of, pushing toward the unthinkable $1.9 million. Why? Because rarity rules everything in coin collecting. And when rarity meets a glaring mistake, a missing mint mark, a strike that never should have happened, value skyrockets. And this wasn't just any year. By 1991, minting technology was supposed to be flawless. Mistakes of this kind weren't supposed to slip through. Yet here it was, a living contradiction. Collectors couldn't believe it. Some called it a miracle. Others whispered that more must be out there, hiding in plain sight. Suddenly, the search was on. Dealers scoured rolls of pennies. Every day, people dumped jars of change onto kitchen tables. Treasure hunters lit up their magnifying glasses, desperate to catch a glimpse of that blank space where a mint mark should have been. And here's the part that gives every collector chills. Most 1991 pennies look identical. Shiny copper plating. Lincoln in profile. The Lincoln Memorial standing proud on the reverse. But the difference, the $1 million difference, comes down to one tiny, almost invisible detail. Right beneath the date, where a mint mark should be, there's nothing. Not a smudge. Not a faint letter. Nothing at all. A clean, empty space. But there's a catch. Counterfeits flood the market. Some are ordinary coins with the mint mark sanded off. Others are fakes entirely. Collectors learn to check carefully. The edges of the coin must be smooth, the fields untouched, the surface unaltered. Any sign of tampering and the value vanishes. The real ones, the true 1991 no mint mark Lincoln cents, have a look all their own. The absence is natural. The coin feels authentic. And when that perfect storm of rarity, error, and condition comes together, that's when a penny transforms into a $1 million masterpiece. Dealers are still chasing them today. Stories circulate of one found in a family coin jar, another pulled from a roll bought at the bank. Some collectors have spent decades searching, convinced they'll uncover one more. Because every time a coin like this surfaces, the price climbs higher. Imagine it. You're sifting through change. At first, it feels pointless. Then you see the date, 1991. Your heart skips. You tilt it in the light. No mint mark. None at all. Could this be the one? Could a single penny, something most people overlook, suddenly rewrite your future? That's the magic of coin collecting. That's why hearts race and hands shake when someone uncovers a mistake coin. Because ordinary becomes extraordinary in an instant. And in the case of the 1991 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, that instant could be worth $1 million to us. Oh, here's how you know. Look for 1991. Flip the coin under good light. Study the space beneath the date. If you see no P, no D, no mint mark at all, and the coin is untampered, sharp, and real, you may be holding a treasure beyond imagination. Check carefully, avoid altered coins, and always confirm with a trusted grader. Because this exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million.